Asada, and welcome back to another episode of the Anthill Channel. Today's episode brings us to the rocky shores of Lake Havesu, here in Arizona. With a combination of some pretty heavy rainfalls and some pretty warm days, I think that there's a good chance that we can spot a queen. Now we just have to get out here and go for a walk. Now to start looking, I wanted to head over to the skating park that I know of. I love looking on large flat concrete areas. It's just really easy to see any queens that are out and about. Now when we get over here, I'm not really seeing too much, except for a few pogonomyrmex workers, but that's not what we're after. We want the queens. Now I know that the pogonomyrmex really like to forage in the leaf debris of these palo verde trees, so I'm going to go over here and take a look. Now today is the perfect combination of everything. There have to be queens out. I just know it. We just have to find them. Alright, I'm not seeing anything here. Let's move back over to the pad. It'll be a lot easier to notice a queen running around. And boom, as if on cue, I see something just out of the corner of my eye. The shadow of this seems to be a lot bigger than any of the workers around. Let's go take a look. Oh yes, it's a queen. Awesome. Alright, now let's get her into our state-of-the-art ant catching container. Okay, it's a water bottle. Oh snap, hang on, hang on, there's two more. Alright, I gotta put the phone down for a second. I need two hands here. And boom, check that out. There wasn't just two, there were 5 more. We just caught 6 queens sitting right here. How awesome. I guess that's the end of our walk. Easy enough. Alright, let's head on back. Oh, and check this out. On the way out, I noticed this other queen. She's digging her own founding chamber. Since I already have 6 queens, and she's found a place that she really likes, I'm gonna go ahead and leave her be. Now let's get these ladies back home. Okay, so now that we're back home, we have to set up their nest. Now pogonomyrmex are semi-clustral, which means that they're going to need to forage during their initial brooding stage. Because of this, I'm actually going to be setting up something that I call a mini world setup. This is going to give me a lot better access to care for the queens. Plus, the pogonomyrmex love to dig, and I'm not going to take that away from them. Alright, so to start, I went to Walmart and got a little beverage server. I then cut off the spout, and I found some tubing that will fit into it. This can help with a little bit of airflow, some drainage, and later on I'll be able to connect it to another setup. And after that, we can add a little dirt. Now don't ask me where I got it, don't worry about it. Now after you add the dirt, you're going to want to spray it with water, a pretty generous amount here, but you don't want it to be soaking. Now I'm going to add a little bit more of that tubing so that I can pump water deep into the nest. After that, I'm going to add in some rocks that I have. Ants like to nest near rocks because it's more stable than just the loose dirt. After that, I'm going to add in some black sand. This is mostly just for looks. Go ahead and spray and tamp it down, and then after that we're going to add some more dirt. Again, spray and tamp it down. Now we have some white sand. Now just like the black sand, this is more for aesthetics, but we'll also be able to see just how deep and how quickly the pogonomyrmex is digging. After that, we're going to add another layer of regular sand, another spritz of water, and another tamp down. Now it's time to decorate. I've got some more rocks that I can configure in here, and then I'm going to add in some red sand. I've also got some moss that I can add in for some color. Now I also have this little ant feeding tower. I filled it with sugar water. It's going to give them all of the energy that they need. As well, I added some mixed seeds. Now some of these I want to grow as it will help to stabilize the dirt underneath, but some of them are for eating, as pogonomyrmex are a type of harvester ant, so they mostly eat seeds. I have found that pogonomyrmex really likes sunflower seeds, chia seeds, or just any type of grass seed. And now for the time we've all been waiting for. It's time to add the queens. So to do this, I just cut the end of the water bottle off. Earlier when I had caught the queens, I had put some leaf debris in the water bottle. Now the queens are hanging onto it, so it's pretty easy for me to just pull that out with a pair of tweezers and add the queens in that way. And there we have it, the queens are in. They may not be looking too happy, but they are looking pretty healthy. So these queens belong to the species of maricopa, which belongs to the genus of pogonomyrmex, which belongs to the subfamily of Myrmicinae. So in other words, these are pogonomyrmex maricopa, one of the most common harvester ants here in Arizona. Now this ant was first discovered by William Morton Wheeler in the deserts of New Mexico, and it's definitely a desert-dwelling ant, as it mostly resides in the southwestern parts of the US. Now on average, the pogonomyrmex maricopa queen can live for about 25 years in captivity, and possibly up to 30 years if you're good with her care. Another interesting fact, the pogonomyrmex maricopa actually is believed to have the most potent venom of any insect. Not necessarily the most painful sting, that still resides with the bullet ant. The reason that they are more toxic but less painful is because they release less venom per sting. Now the common name for this ant is the maricopa harvester ant. Personally, I prefer the golden harvester. I mean, look at this. And that little black stripe on their gaster, I just really like that color contrast. How does it go? Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Alright. Now the pogonomyrmex is actually one of the most proficient diggers when it comes to ant species. This is largely due to that beautiful beard you see this queen sporting. See, those large hairs that curve inwards under her mouth act as a type of shovel that she can scoop sand and dirt into when she's digging out a chamber or a tunnel. She can then take that sand out to the surface to dump it. How impressive. Now do you see how the queens are tapping their antennae on each other? This is one of the ways that they can communicate. Now it's not communication like you or I use, but it might be more like a dog, just sort of seeing if you're okay, seeing how the vibe is. Now this is just one of the ways that ants can communicate, and it's not quite communication like us, but it's very important information that they're getting from each other. For instance, if there was a threat nearby, they would easily be able to distribute information throughout the colony simply by communicating like this. Though in that circumstance it would be a lot more frantic and distressing. Right now, they're just sort of letting each other know that it's chill and that they're happy. And that is a great sign. All right, I think that's enough of me jabbering on. Let's kick back and enjoy these queens for a minute.
Tiny legs marching on, busy life from dusk till dawn. In the ground they build their home. Little workers never alone. Every day a new surprise in their world so miniature. Through the forest they will rise, ants adventure for sure.
And I think that that is a beautiful place to call this an episode. So let's recap. We went on a walk, caught a few queens, brought them back, made a nest, and got them all settled in it. How cool! Now this whole setup between the beverage server and the tubing only cost me about $15. So if you were looking to get into this hobby without spending too much money, this might be a good way to start. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and toodaloo.